wish you a happy Independence Day. Great country, na? All right. नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं The inner quest helped us to identify who I am really. And that I is neither a man or a woman, neither one with a big moustache or a small moustache. Neither good or bad. Neither greedy or lusty. Neither powerful or powerless. Not wicked. Not holy. And definitely not holier than thou. What is it? It is pure consciousness. Is it not? Pure consciousness. Now all these things we have found out logically and experientially. Do you think it is illogical? No. Do you think it is not based on observation? No. Right? And this consciousness, it is existence also. It is existence also. It is that which does not undergo any modifications. We saw that, isn't it? It is called Sakshi. Why did we name it as Sakshi? Because it does not undergo any changes. It is not undergoing any changes. Therefore, it is existing. It is existence. You get my point? So, Chit. Consciousness in Sanskrit is called Chit. And that non-changingness I say? Non-changingness is called as Sat. Sat means existing, or it doesn't change itself into different kind of existence, but remains as just that kind of thing. Called Sat, existence. So who are you? Sat. Who are you? Chit. So you are Chit, you are Sat. So we reverse it. Sat Chit. Sat Chit. Because something which is existing, the existence is consciousness. No? So existence gets priority always. Because when you say existence, then the next thing, it is consciousness. It doesn't really matter. You can put whatever way you want. And also experientially ask this question. Is there a trace of sadness or happiness in it? When do you say something is, today is a good day? When do you say this? If yesterday was a terrible day. Yeah. So these are relative terms. Happiness and sadness are relative terms. They are comparative in nature. Right? Is that white? Is this white? Is this white here on top? Sort of. Why do you say sort of? Because look at that. Is that white? Yeah. But look at Ella Musk dress. Look at Maitriji's mother's dress. Look at the paper in your hand. These are all comparative in nature. Okay? So when I say happiness, when I say sadness, these are all comparative. That is why you can scale them. How happy are you today in a scale of 1 to 10? Because somebody has got pain and we want to understand how much pain they have got. What do we ask? We ask how much pain you have in a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest. The person says 7. How would the person say 7? Yesterday it was 9. There is scaling possible in happiness and sorrow. But in that consciousness, in that existence, is there scaling possible? I'm talking of you. Okay? Therefore, no. Yes, in mind, happiness and sorrow scaling is possible. But that which is beyond the mind has no ups and downs. It is full. And this full is not 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. It is beyond any kind of quantifications. And that is called as Purna. Purna. No ups and downs. You cannot think of ups and downs there. It's beyond that kind of thing. Because there is no trace of mind in you. Right? And this kind, okay, where joy and sorrow do not touch. But we do not mean that there is sorrow. Neither do we mean that there is joy. There is a kind of absolute fullness which you cannot quantify in terms of any words. You can't say it is peace, you can't say it's joy, you can't say it's happiness, you can't say it's pleasure. But you cannot say it is not pleasure, you cannot say it is not joy. Okay. This kind of fullness, sometimes it is called the peace that passeth all understanding. This is from the Bible. There's a description there. The peace that passeth all understanding. And in Vedanta we call it as Purna, or in order to distinguish it from some kind of happiness, we call it as Ananda, or sometimes Paramananda. This fullness. Satya Swarupaya Namaha. But please switch off your mobile, okay? Atma is Satya Swarupa. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Who? Atma. So who are you? All Satchidananda, please raise your hand. Raise, all of you. So Vivekananda said, children of immortality. That's the Upanishad said. Amritasya putra. We are all that. So this is me. And how did you come to know this? Through Drishya, Vivek. So this consciousness, how does it come to the level of the mind as I? Because it reflects in the mind, which is natural. The mind has got the capacity to reflect, and that is a great, like water has got the capacity to reflect the sun. The mind has got the capacity to reflect. So it catches the reflection, and if it catches the reflection, that thought in the mind, which is the karta thought, the doer thought, the owner thought, the identifying thought. It does the function of identifying, but it's the owner thought. Yeah? So that thought and this reflection becomes a compact entity. Yeah? It becomes a kind of one. Like how fire and iron become one. That is the way I is there at the level of the mind. And that thought we call it as I thought. And all other thought, what do we call it as? The instrument thought, karana thought. So one is the karta thought and the rest is all karana thought. Right? So this thought is called ahankara or aham vritti. And these are called as antakarana. Both of them are anta. Even the I thought is anta. Okay? Got it? How does the body become sentient? Because this mind, intellect, this karta and karana thought, in which the consciousness has fallen, reflection of consciousness is there, that compact entity is there, no? Because that later on, next step, becomes identified with the body and body gains sentience. First electricity passes through the iron and the iron becomes an electromagnet. And that electromagnet touches the iron filings and the iron filings become energized. And that iron filing starts dancing. And that is our body. Yesterday you saw, no? How she was playing the harmony. Who has energized that? And what lovely music also. Who was energized? Who is I? Satchidananda. Never forget this. Who are you? Satchidananda. So this is the whole process. So first the focus was on the consciousness. Then the focus of the author was on reflection of consciousness. Right? Now the author focuses on the ahamkara, the karta thought. And later on he will move on to the karana thought. See the movement to the thought. Now we are in verse number, am I right? 8 now? Verse number 8. Which is this karta thought? That thought which is able to take up the consciousness and claim it as I. It is not actually I, but it is imbued. What imbued? It is filled up with I. This mirror does not have light, but it is filled with light. It is filled with light. It is touched by light. Gurudev used to say, Shankaracharya used to say in this Vivek, it's kissed by light. Chumbita. A poetical expression. And that is beautiful also. That consciousness kisses the I thought. Kisses the karta thought. And then it becomes an I thought. Now this karta thought, where all it gets identified. That is verse number 8.
Ahankarasya tadatmyam.
Ahankarasya tadatmyam.
Chichaya deha sakshibihi.
Chichaya deha sakshibihi.
Sahajam karmajam bhantijam.
Sahajam karmajam pranti.
Janyam chatrividham kramat.
Janyam chatrividham kramat. Ahankarasya tadatmyam. Chichaya deha sakshibihi.
Sahajam karmajam bhantijam. Janyam chatrividham kramat.
All right. We said the karta thought is an identifying thought. Isn't it? And what is the name of the karta thought? Ahamkara or aham vritti. Vritti means thought. Aham vritti, that carries the I. Ahankara, aham means I. Kara means that which does. So then ahankara means identifying thought, which does the I. Which does. What do you mean does the I? With the desire is there, it identifies with desire and says, I am desirous. If anger comes, anger is also a thought. It's a karana thought. What does the ahamkara do? It identifies with the anger and says, I am an angry person. Some little good you do. What little good you do? That mosquito which went, you didn't hit it. I am a good person. This is the ahamkara. It does the I, ahamkara, aham karoti, identifying thought. When I say aham vritti, I am talking the same thing, but that thought which captures the I, which is touched by the I. Different names to tell different things. So this ahankara, tadatmya, ahankarasya of the ahankara, tadatmya, identification. Identification means what? Sense of I. Identified. Identified means it takes itself to be itself. It embraces that. Tadatmyam can be spoken of with respect to three things. It identifies with three things. Which? Ahamkara. Tadatmya we have studied. No? Tadatmya means identification with three things. What are the three? Now you should put down Ahankara, identify with 1, 2, 3. That way you should read. First is Chitchaya. What is this Chitchaya? Reflection of consciousness. Another name for reflection is Abhasa. Abhasa. Chaya also is reflection. Abhasa also is reflection. And therefore, Chitchaya is also called as Chit Abhasa. Sometimes. Well, most of the times. Okay. So this Chitchaya or Chidabhasa, Ahankara can identify with that. Identify with that means what? Become one with that. Embrace it and take it as mine. That is one. Second, it can identify also with the body. We saw that now. It identifies with the body. And then makes the body sentient. Second. And third, it can identify itself with the actual you, Sakshi. Three places it can identify. Actually, it is only a vritti. But being a vritti, you see what all tamasha it does. It's a thought. The thought. Like any other thought. But this thought has got the power to identify. That is why we are calling it as identifying thought. Aham karoti. Ahankara. Okay. Now, he gives the names for the different identification. And by giving the name, he also says how it happens. So the naming ceremony for the Ahankara, because of the identification, three names. First, the identification of Ahankara with the reflection of consciousness. Three, na? One is Chaya, another is Deha, and third is Sakshi. So identifying with the Chichaya, reflection of consciousness, that is Sahajam. Sahajam. First name I will give you, later on we will explain. So, identification of Chichaya with reflection, identification of Ahankara with Chichaya. So, let us say Ahankara plus Chichaya. That is number one. And that is Sahajam. Then, identification of Ahankara with body. So, Chichaya plus body. It is Karmajam. Second. And third, so that second means what? Chichaya plus body is equal to Karmajam. And the third one, Chichaya is said Ahankara. Ahankara plus body. First one is Ahankara plus Chichaya. Second one is Ahankara plus body. And that is called Karmajam. So identification of the three types. One is Sahajam, second is Karmajam, and third one Ahankara plus Sakshi. Meaning, when I say plus, taking itself to be. Plus here is Tadatmya. Tadatmya means identification. Identification means taking itself to be. So ahankara taking itself to be chichaya is sahajam. Ahankara taking itself to be the body is karmajam. Ahankara taking itself to be the sakshi is brahmtijam. There is one component of the word which is there in all the three. Sahajam, karmajam, brantijam. What is that? Jam. What a difficult question. Jam means, you know what? Jayate iti jam. Jayate, born. That which is born. So sahajam means what? Born together. Saha means together, no? Born together. Karmajam means what? Born from karma. Sahajam means born from togetherness, if you want to put. Karmajam, born from karma. And Brantijam, born from Branti. Karma is, okay, now Sahajam, first Sahajam I should say, then Karmajam I should say, then Brantijam I should say. Ahankara identifying with reflection of consciousness is because they both are together, born from togetherness. It's understandable. Okay. Ahankara identifying with the body is born because of karma. What do you mean by that, born because of karma? What because of karma? Past karma? Okay, good. But what do you mean by that? I'll explain. You're sleeping, is it not? Yes, not now. You're sleeping. Why did you wake up? Because there was class on the we need to wake up. You may say, I woke up because she woke me up. Really speaking, why you wake up, because it is time for your karma to give you a particular result of joy or sorrow. We come to the waking state because it is time for us to start enjoying, start experiencing. And that is why you cannot sleep forever, however much you try. You cannot sleep forever. Even the most lazy person will have to get up. We say, when the karma becomes ready, okay, the body has to wake up. And when the karmas are no more there for the body to be awake, what will happen? The body will go back to sleep. And that may be because of, you may feel body is tired. Body is tired means what? The senses are no more ready for any further experiences. Therefore, when the karma wakes up the body, what is the word I said? When the karma wakes up the body, and that karma is called as prarabdha karma. Just you can keep karma, it doesn't matter. But when the karma wakes up the body, then what will happen? The ahankara identifies with the body. And then you experience the waking state. Then the ahankara becomes a waker and experiences joy and sorrow. Experience joy and sorrow means what? Experiences the world, and by experiencing the world gets joy and sorrow. And therefore, the identification of the ahankara with the body is because of what? Because of the karmas waking up. And that karma we say punya or papa. So how much time you are asleep? How much time you are awake will all depend upon your karma. This is subtle. We can easily say how much time you are awake. It depends upon how much fresh I feel. But Vedanta goes more deeper. It asks you what causes you to be fresh and what causes you to be tired. So when the karma wakes up the body, ahankara identifies with the body, and therefore we say that the identification of the ahankara with the body is karmajam. Okay? So sahajam. Ahankara plus chichaya, sahajam. Ahankara plus body, karmajam. And next is what? Ahankara with the sakshi. What do you mean by ahankara identifying with the sakshi? The ahankara becoming an imposter and claiming itself to be the self. Just remember, now think for yourself. Till now, what do you think yourself to be? Basically, you think yourself to be that inner thought. Na? That's what you think yourself to be. You may take yourself to be the body, the mind and all those things, but finally who are you? You are the I thought. You are the I thought. You take yourself to be the I thought. And this is the I thought claiming itself to be the true self, the sakshi. This is the thing. When we are hurt, what do we say? I am hurt. And when we say I am hurt, who is this I? It's not necessarily the body. Nobody hurt the body. Somebody told you some harsh words. And then what happened? I loved you so much. This is what you have to give to me. You hurt me. You pained me. Then who is this I? The I thought. And this I thought has taken itself to be the self. Sakshi. And this I thought taking itself to be the Sakshi, consciousness, the true self, that is because of what? Because of not knowing, because of ignorance, because of absence of clarity, because of no knowledge, bhranti. Because it has not been taught by Vedanta. It has not been taught by Vedanta means what? There was no method by which it can start thinking all these things. And therefore we say the I thought taking itself to be the actual self is jump born from what? Bhranti, ignorance. So the I thought has three identifications. Now shall we, I think it was all clear, right? The I thought has got three identifications. One, identification with the reflection of consciousness, identification with the body, identification with the self, sakshi. Identification with the reflection of consciousness is born because of what? Togetherness. Sahajam, sahaeva jayate. Sahaeva jayate. Togetherness. And that is why the word sahajam also means natural. It's natural. It becomes little. When the I thought is the consciousness falls on it, reflection of consciousness falls on it, what happens to the thought, the karta thought? Suddenly becomes I. It gets that sense of I. Okay. So reflection of consciousness and this karta thought, both of them becoming together, is called as sahajam. It automatically happens. It naturally happens because of togetherness. And second, the I thought identifying with the body is not always. Only when the karma comes and wakes up the body, it identifies. Therefore it is born from karma. Even though the karta thought has the reflection of consciousness, the actual status of the karta thought should be what? Should be, I am that thought, which is not the actual I, but only a transactional I, is it not? Not the actual I, but it is a thought I. That's how it should be. But the thought I thinks, what? I am the actual I. This is identification with the sakshi, and this is born from absence of knowledge of what is the true I. Okay? Clear? So now I'll ask you some questions. Okay? First, the terms, you have to tell the meanings. Chichaya. Aham vritti. Karta thought. What does the word actual aham vritti mean? I did not ask you. What is aham vritti? Vritti is thought. Aham vritti is what? Thought that captures I. Good.
So is it the inner thought?
Huh?
Is it the inner thought?
Yes, it's an inner thought. And this I thought is only called ego. Ego thought. Actually, it should not be ego, it should be I go. Okay. Aham vritti. So aham vritti is equal to what? The karta thought. The owner thought. It owns up everything. Okay? Okay. Now, ahankara. Translation you give. Ahankara. Aham karoti iti ahankara. Okay, in English you translate. Identifying thought. Aham karoti. It identifies everywhere. I. If desire comes, it identifies with that. Okay. So ahankara, identifying thought. Aham vritti, the karta thought, the owner thought. Okay. What is the meaning of identification? First, tadatmya translate. identification. I didn't ask for the breakup. Tadatmya meaning identification. Identification for the aham vritti or ahankara happens at what all levels? 3 levels. What are the 3 levels? 3 levels. What are the 3 levels? Level 1 with reflection of consciousness, Chichaya. Level 2, body. Level 3, action. Level 1 happens how? Because of how? Togetherness. And because it is together, what happens? Naturally. That is why Sahajam is also translated as natural or effortless. Why? But really speaking, the word Sahajam means born together. Sahayeva jayate. When aham vritti is there, reflection of consciousness is there, it will be there. Sahajam. Alright? Okay. Then aham vritti, identifying with the body, happens because of what? Karma. Which karma? Which karma? Prarabdha karma. Meaning what? It wakes up the body. When the prarabdha karma for experiencing the waking state goes away, and when you go to sleep, the aham vritti will not identify with the body.
I didn't understand this part.
Okay. I'll explain after I finish this question. Then third, the aham vritti identifying with the sakshi. What does it mean? Considering itself as the I. Why does that happen? Because of ignorance of what is our true nature. So the first one, aham vritti identifying with the reflection of consciousness, right? That is called as which tadatmya? Sahaja tadatmya. Aham vritti identifying with the body is called as what? Karmaja tadatmya. Aham vritti identifying with the sakshi is called as what? Prantija tadatmya. Okay? Now your question, you don't understand exactly this karmaja, will become clear in the next verse. Okay. Next verse. Sator nasti.
Sambandhino sator nasti.
Sambandhino sator nasti.
Nivrittis sahajasya tu.
Nivrittis sahajasya tu.
Karmakshayat prabodhacha.
Karmakshayat prabodhacha.
Nivartate kramadubhe.
Nivartate kramadubhe. Sambandhino sator nasti.
Nivrittis sahajasya tu. Karmakshayat prabodhacha. Nivartate kramadubhe.
Of these three means what? Of the 3 kinds of identification. Identification 1, which is called as sahaja. Identification 2, which is called as karmaja. Identification 3, which is called as brantija. 3 tadatmya, 3 identification. Which goes and which does not go. Meaning, which can be put to an end, which cannot be put to an end. You think now. Sahaja, karmaja, brantija. Sahaja is how when both of them come together. He says, Sambandinoho satoho. When the two sambandis, when those two which are related, Sambandinoho. With the first one, Sahaja happens between what? The Ahamkara and the Chitchat. He says, as long as these both are there, it cannot go away. Right? Consciousness is always there. Correct? And as long as the reflection of consciousness is there, and as long as the Ahamvritti is there, these two cannot go away. Example, water in a bucket. Water in a bucket or water in a lake, let us say. Under the sun. As long as the sun is there and the water is there, the reflection of the sun will be there, and as long as the water is there, that sun will get reflected in the water and both of them will be together. You can't do anything about it. Correct? As long as the reflection of sun is there and as long as the water is there, that union between both of them will be there. Meaning, as long as Ahankara is there and as long as the reflection of consciousness is there, you cannot put an end to Sahaja Tadatmya. And how long will Ahankara be there? As long as mind is there, it will be there. Because mind is made up of two components. One is the Karta component, which is called as Ahankara. Another is the Karana component. So as long as mind is there, meaning as long as water is there, and you cannot say as long as consciousness is there, because consciousness is there always. Right? So as long as the I thought is there, meaning as long as I thought is there means what? As long as mind is there. Because when mind is there, I thought will be there. And when I thought is there, what will happen? Consciousness is always there. And because consciousness is always there, reflection of consciousness will be always there. And when reflection of consciousness is always there and I thought is also there, you cannot separate both of them, they will be together. Therefore, you cannot break up the relationship of I thought and reflection of consciousness as long as mind is there. As long as water is there and as long as sun is there, reflection of sun will be in the water, and as long as the reflection of sun is there in the water, the top layer of the water and the reflection of the sun will get together and they will shine. You cannot help it. And if you want that reflection of sun not to be united with the top layer of the water, what you should do? Either sun should go away or water should go away. There sun can go away. Here consciousness cannot go away because consciousness is always there. As long as mind is there, I thought will be there. And as long as this karta thought is there, the reflection of consciousness will be there and both of them will be combining together. Therefore, when these two things are there, you cannot break them up. Correct? What do you say? Agreed? Yes, Maharaj. No, we can't help it. Okay? Now next, karmakshayat. The other two is what? The identification with the body and identification with the sakshi. These two, how they will go away? The identification of the body will go away because of karmakshaya. And what do you mean by karma kshaya? When that karma which wakes up to keep the body, to bring back the body, meaning when the karma is ready to make you experience this world of objects. That karma wakes up the body. That karma wakes up the senses. And when the karma wakes up the senses, what happens? You become ready for the perception of the world. You are sleeping, nicely sleeping. And now it is time for you to get up. What will happen? Now it's time for you to get up to experience the world. And that becomes available for many number of reasons it can come. Your friend will come and say, hey, get up, get up. Actually, your friend is not waking you up. You know who is waking you up? Your karma is making your friend wake you up. So you may think that your alarm clock is waking you up. No. What, Swamiji, alarm clock is only waking me up. What are you telling? No, sometimes alarm clock also you won't hear. Sometimes not even alarm clock is required. Mosquito is sufficient to wake you up. Because the mosquito is biting you right in the tip of the nose. Actually, mosquito did not wake you up. Your karma forced the mosquito to bite you in a place where you cannot but get up. Actually, the joys and sorrow that we get, is because of karma. But please don't think karma means last birth karma. No. The collection of all karmas till the earlier moment is together called as, every action that we do has a result, is it not? And it is not that the result of the last birth only will come. After you are born also, lot of karmas we have done, actions we have done, is it not? And the actions, all of them join together and become the result. Suppose you are walking. So you are walking fast, right? There's a speed, and then you start running, and then you start really running. Now you tell me the speed at that time, what you are having now, after let us say 20 minutes, that speed is dependent on what? That speed is not only dependent upon how you started, but that speed is dependent till the last step what you have taken before that step. Correct? So, this cumulative result of all actions of the past till now, cumulative collection, cumulative result of all actions till now is called karma. Therefore, do not say, because of last birth action only, I got up today at 7 o'clock. No. Because that day night you partied. And it went up to 12 o'clock. And suppose you party till 3 o'clock, what will happen? You will get up at 11 o'clock. Is it not? That is cumulative result of all actions. But suppose you are used to get up, let us say, at 5 o'clock. Even though you party till 3 o'clock, you will get up at least at 6:30. Because you are not used to sleep till 11 o'clock. You understand? When the karma wakes the body up. Okay, clear now? Then what happens? The aham vritti or ahankara identifies with the body. And therefore, when the karma goes away, you go to sleep. Or you become unconscious. And please don't think karma goes away means only sleep. Sometimes you bang your head down with something. Down. sleep, falling in a swoon, unconscious, coma. All of them are what? Karma goes away. Then what happens? And the body is not there for the ahamvriti to identify. Why? Because the karma has taken the body away. Then the identification with the body will go away. Because it is born from karma, when the karma goes away, identification of the ahamvriti with the body will have to go away. First one, as long as the mind is there, it cannot be removed. Because the reflection of consciousness will fall and they will become together. And therefore there will be a thought in the mind which says what? I. It can't be avoided. And that is required, That is required. Only then this body can be protected. Suppose in the mind there is no I thought which can identify with the body, and you put your leg on let us say a nail or something or a fire, because you are not, then what will happen? Because the I thought is not there, you won't remove that also, and the body will get burnt away. You see, that is the mechanism created for the sustenance also. So as long as mind is there, the mind's I thought with mind's owner thought will get identified with the reflection of consciousness and become the I thought. Will get the I. That's what I mean. And as long as the prarabdha karma for the body is there, this I thought will identify with the body, and then it will do its functions. In deep sleep what happens? The karma goes away for some time. And then the I thought does not identify with that body, with the body. In death what happens? The karma for the body totally goes away. In deep sleep, temporarily it goes away. That is why deep sleep is a kind of death. It's a kind of death. For some time you are dead. Even if you are sometime dead, how happy you are. So never be afraid of death. Karma goes away, that's all. What is the big deal? For some time it goes away, and that is called deep sleep. And when it fully goes away for that body, it is called as death. Karmakshayat. First word. So by karmakshaya, identification of the body goes away. Now you tell me, how will the identification of the ahankara with the sakshi go away? Because it came out of ignorance. Please remember, very important point. What do you mean by ahankara identifying with sakshi? I'll ask that question again. One moment, let me ask the question again carefully. What do you mean by ahamkara identifying with chichaya? Becoming one. What do you mean by ahankara identifying with the body? Taking itself to be the body. What do you mean by ahankara identifying with the sakshi? Taking itself to be the actual I. Say that again. Taking itself to be the actual I. Forgetting that its sense of I is borrowed. After taking the money, you think the money is yours. ऐसा ही problem होना यहाँ में. You borrowed the money. That is mine. There are a lot of people like that. They don't return back at all. So it takes the I and thinks it is the I, and that is because it does not know that the actual I is not itself. And therefore, how can it be removed? By knowing which is the actual I, which is the true I. And what is the true I? Sat, Chit, and by that knowledge, it goes away. Prabodhat. Prabodhat means what? Because of superior knowledge. Bodha means knowledge. Prabodha. Not just intellectually understanding. Intellectual understanding is very important, but actually sitting quietly and internalizing this. So that it is not just understanding, it is not just a kind of a philosophical thinking, but actually yourself experiencing that, yes, I am not this ahankara. How to do that will come in the later. Samadhi abhyasa and all they will be talking. Okay? By these two, nivartete kramad ube. Kramad ube, these two. These two is what? Identification with the body for the ahankara and identification with the consciousness for the ahankara will be removed. Over now. Should we? I think it's sufficient. Swamiji, what? Shall we conclude the class? Yes, we will conclude. Any questions?
Swamiji, as you said about the same example, about in the body stage that we get into the awakening state as such. I mean, it's kind of that once the body is not there, the actions also go with that past body and then it comes back. Or I mean, I got the plot of it, but I'm trying to understand now. For example, the next, suppose there is a birth, for example. How does it know that when, or how can we understand by this way of life that this prarabdha is over? We say this prarabdha is over, for example. I had to suffer this or I had to enjoy this, is over. But how to put an end to this kind of desires? I mean, how to gauge or how to say yes or maybe, is that something a human cannot understand, or is it something, is that consciousness or supreme, something of that sort will kind of.
All right. Okay. Any other question? We'll come to that.
Where does the karma go? So karma goes away temporarily.
All right.
The statement you made that I takes itself in the actual I.
Hmm.
So it is taking properties of consciousness.
Yes.
So I mean, it is consciousness is a pure happiness.
Hmm.
So even I can take that property.
Yeah.
And as far as the consciousness is there, I will always be there.
As far as the conscious, the pure I-ness will be always, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to say that we have to put an end to this I.
Put to this I which has come about. We are not saying we have to put an end to the I which has come about because of the reflection of consciousness in the mind. We are only telling you to understand that we are not this I. understand that this thought I is not actual I. Because thought I is only a thought with a borrowed I. Okay? That is all. That is why it is said here, as long as the mind is there, you cannot put an end to it. But what you can do, you can stop the identification of the I with the Sakshi, the I thought with the Sakshi. And once you know your real nature, let this I tell you. This I will do all the things. This I is your manager. You have paid him some, all this work you do. Take care of the body, yes sir. All the thoughts and all what is coming, you look into it, yes sir. Good thoughts you allow, yes sir. Not good thoughts you put an end to it, yes sir. Study hard, yes sir. It will do all those things for you. But if you take the manager to be yourself, you will have a lot of problem. You are the boss, not the manager. Okay? You have vested him with some powers. And because of the power you have given him, he is doing. Okay.
How can the mind by itself appreciate the existence of the consciousness?
You are doing now, no? You are doing now, right? What are we doing now? Understanding. The beauty is that mind can understand. And then mind can tell you that consciousness you don't understand. Try to understand because you are that. And that consciousness is self-revealing. Therefore, the mind doesn't have to understand. Because you know consciousness not through the mind. You know consciousness because of yourself. But educating the mind, that is important. This is education. So now I have handled consciousness because that is the most important thing of this. And this karma, where does it exist and all those things. I'll give you the answer, but you have to think for yourself. Karma does not exist in somebody's records. It is all staying in your inner mind intellect only. It is a baggage of the Ahamritti.
It goes away, where does it go away?
And you think, sir, I am not going to take it now. Or you should discuss with me later. And your question, you please think little more. First you should discuss with whom? Then you discuss with the... Then you come to me if it is not clarified. And your question, you meet me. Shall we conclude? पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।